Welcome to our Sustainability Learning Bites. In this format, we are giving you 5-minute snapshots on sustainability and how we make it happen. My name is Ulla Hueppe and I'm leading the focus area Sustainability at Henkel Adhesive Technologies. Today, our focus will be on the topic of sustainable operations. To get everyone on the same page, let's quickly recap our strategy. We will drive sustainability through leading by example and taking responsibility for our own footprint, by using sustainable raw materials while also driving continuous improvement in our production and logistics activities. Building on that, we will lead through technology by providing innovative solutions that enable our customers to boost their contribution to sustainability. And we do all this supported by end-to-end transparency, reliable data, and consistent measurement. Along these 4 strategic pillars, we have committed to 4 promises for 2030. We will become the first global adhesives player with climate-positive operations. We will offer net zero or low-emission products to all our customers. We will offer every customer solutions and services that enable emission reduction and circularity. And we will deliver 100% end-to-end transparency on the sustainability of all our products according to leading standards. As you can see, I'm not alone here today. With me is Johannes Legrand. He's the Corporate Vice President Operations and Supply Chain and therefore the expert when it comes to sustainability in our own operations. Thank you for joining us, Johannes. As we've just heard it is our ambition for 2030 to become climate positive. In your opinion, Johannes, why is that so relevant for Henkel?
Yeah, let's start with where we are today, Ulla. So I think today Henkel is already seen as a front runner in sustainability, and that is especially true for adhesive technologies. We further sharpened our ambition and we focus on 3 elements, which is mainly CO2, water and waste. You mentioned CO2, climate positive, because that is probably the biggest statement that is out there. And also it's one that is recognized from the outside, and also we see customers already requesting this. So we think it is a competitive advantage to have operations that is climate positive. But I think it triggered in our discussion in the 2030 ambition, it was more triggered by the internal belief that we all share the same planet that we live in. And we're also committed to growth. So basically that consequently means future growth needs to come without a negative impact on our planet.
Yeah, very well said. Thank you. And can you explain us a little bit further, what are we aiming at and actually how do we achieve it?
In our own factories, we have mainly 2 sources of energy that we consume. First is electrical energy, which is roughly half, and then the other half is used for thermal energy, which is heating up processes, cooling processes, etc. So here the first aim is always to reduce as much as possible. So versus our base year 2010, we have already reduced 30% of the energy we consume. Now the second step is to replace the energy that is still based on fossil fuels to renewable energy. This is different for electricity than for thermal, but for both of them we have plans in place.
Okay, well understood. Thank you. And can you give us 1 or 2 concrete examples where and how we bring this to life?
Let's start with electricity. I think that's a good one. So in the past, when we were building our facilities, nobody thought about the roof. Today we know the roof is the foundation of solar panels. And solar panels are super important. They can cover up to 20% of the energy that our sites are consuming. So that's a very concrete example. As we design our buildings, the roof is strong enough so that we can store solar panels. Second thing is we are switching now, and that is the more difficult part, we are switching our thermal energy to renewables. So what options do we have today available? It's mainly biogas, biomass, and there's a certain element of electrification. So we have a roadmap, by site, which element could come into play when, and it's depending on the location. So biomass is not an option for all locations, whilst biogas is also not an option for all locations.
Thank you for explaining us. That looks like a great transformation ahead of us. Can you maybe, before finishing up, give us 3 key insights or 3 key takeaways that you want our audience to remember?
Takeaway 1, climate positive. I think this is a big thing, a big differentiators, and I think we are well on our way to be one of the first players in our industry to achieve that. Secondly, I believe besides the CO2 piece, water and waste, and the circularity of water and waste becomes increasingly important. And that's also embedded in our strategy. So how do we make the water and the waste in our sites circular? Also important as a role modeling element. We with our sites become also role models for other companies in our industry. Thirdly, a lot of pieces need to come together to achieve our ambition. And you can imagine a network of 150 sites globally, a lot of pieces need to come together. And I think, with our teams, 13,000 employees, highly engaged and very well trained in the area of sustainability, they will make that happen.
Great, very well summarized, Johannes. Thank you so much for taking the time and explaining the important role of operations for our Sustainability Ambition 2030. And thanks also to all of those who tuned in today and decided to be part of our sustainability journey. Together, we will make it happen.